After vanishing without a trace, Malaysia is once again resuming its search for the missing flight MH370. In a new update this morning, the Malaysian government has agreed to allow an American company to carry out a fresh search for the wreckage. This time, the government is partnering with Ocean Infinity, a leading marine robotics company from the US, with a $70 million reward for any significant wreckage discovered. Over a decade has passed since MH370 disappeared with 239 people on board, and their families are still waiting for answers. Following two failed searches covering more than 120,000 kilometers, this renewed effort will focus on a more targeted, 15,000 square kilometer area in the southern Indian Ocean over the next 18 months. The disappearance of the Boeing 777 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries, surrounded by countless unanswered questions and endless theories, making it impossible to discuss without diving into speculation, some of which we'll explore later in this video. But first, let's revisit the events of that fateful night. Music: the disappearance of MH370. On March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, was preparing for departure from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The plane was en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a seasoned pilot with over 18,000 flight hours, and First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, who had 2,813 flight hours on board. Also present were 10 cabin crew members and 227 passengers. The aircraft was carrying 49,100 kilograms of fuel, enough for a 7-hour and 31-minute flight plenty to reach Beijing or divert to nearby airports if needed. In addition to its passengers, the plane carried electronics, 4.5 tons of mangosteen fruit and 221 kilograms of lithium-ion batteries, packed according to safety regulations, though some experts have questioned whether these batteries played a role in the disappearance. The final moments of MH370. At 12:27 UTC, MH370 was cleared for departure. As the flight took off, everything seemed normal. But just 25 minutes into the flight, at 1:19, the plane sent its last automatic message to Malaysia Airlines Operations Center, just as it was leaving Malaysian airspace. Less than an hour into the flight, as the plane cruised at 35,000 feet over the South China Sea, it suddenly vanished from radar screens. This was the beginning of a mystery that would captivate the world. Attempts to contact the plane's crew at 1:30, using international distress frequencies, yielded only static and mumbling. This was the last time anyone heard from MH370. The plane had disappeared from radar screens, and Malaysia stopped actively tracking the aircraft after its handoff to Vietnamese airspace. By 3:30 a.m., Malaysian Airlines confirmed that MH370 was missing, and search efforts were immediately launched. The search efforts. The following days saw a massive search effort. However, no debris or survivors were found in the South China Sea. Military radar data revealed that the plane had made an unexpected U-turn, heading back toward the Malaysian peninsula before veering northward. The absence of any distress signals, combined with the aircraft's strange path, raised more questions. Was it an emergency return to an airport? But no distress calls were made. The plane's last radar contact was at 2:22 a.m., and after disappearing from Malaysian military radar, MH370 was still within range of several countries' radar systems. However, many countries were hesitant to release data, citing security concerns. As the search extended across vast regions including the Strait of Malacca and the Bay of Bengal, nothing was found. The satellite data. Just as the search efforts expanded, investigators turned to satellite data. MH370's satellite communication system, or SATCOM, logged onto a network before departure, allowing the aircraft to communicate via satellite instead of relying on ground radar. Over the next several hours, automated satellite handshakes continued, and investigators were able to use the data to determine the plane's likely final location in the southern Indian Ocean. The final transmission occurred at 8:10 a.m., about 1 hour and 40 minutes after MH370 was expected to land in Beijing. After this, no further communication was received, and it is believed that the aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. The ongoing search. Despite a large-scale search that covered 120,000 square kilometers of the ocean floor, the wreckage was never found. However, In 2015, a piece of MH370's wing, known as a flaperon, was discovered on Reunion Island. Several other pieces of wreckage were found along the coast of Southeast Africa, but only a few were confirmed to be from the missing plane. After years of searching, the Malaysian, Australian, and Chinese governments officially suspended the search in early 2017. Despite this, private searches, such as one led by Ocean Infinity in 2018, continued without success. A renewed search effort. In 2025, Malaysia approved a renewed search for MH370, led once again by Ocean Infinity. This time, the search will cover a targeted 15,000 square kilometers in the southern Indian Ocean, focusing on regions near the plane's last known communication point. The $70 million reward for significant wreckage discovery is part of a no-find, no-fee agreement, meaning Ocean Infinity will only be compensated if the wreckage is found. The search will utilize advanced autonomous technology and AI-driven analysis, with a fleet of autonomous underwater vehicles, a UVISA, capable of scanning depths of up to 6,000 meters with high-resolution sonar and radar. The aim is to find the wreckage faster and more efficiently than previous efforts. Theories about MH370. As we revisit the mystery of MH370, it is impossible to avoid the many theories and speculations that have emerged over the years. The most widely accepted theory is that the aircraft was under manual control by one of the crew members. Evidence from a flight simulator recovered from the captain's home indicated a possible premeditated course change. Other theories have ranged from a fire aboard the plane, possibly caused by the lithium-ion batteries, to more outlandish ideas such as hijacking or military involvement. Theories suggesting that the plane was diverted to a military base like Diego Garcia have also emerged, though they lack concrete evidence. Conclusion. The mystery of MH370 continues to haunt aviation experts and the public alike. As the renewed search continues, we can only hope that the efforts of Ocean Infinity will finally bring closure to the families of those who were on board that fateful flight.